Hi folks, Jared Bentley with the Johnson City Press Week in Review right here on johnsоncitypress.com. Ballard Health Executive Chairman Alan Levine stood in an almost empty boardroom this past week speaking to the press and giving them the news that everybody knew was coming, but no one really wanted to hear. The hospital plans on eliminating 49 positions through attrition and laying off 150 employees. Levine posited the decision as a necessary one, claiming the alternative, leaving Mountain States Health Alliance and Wellmont Health System alone, would have eventually cost as many as 1,000 jobs once a for-profit company intervened and snatched up one or both of the hospital systems. He says when that happens, it allows for two outcomes, a loss of jobs and higher rates, neither of which would be good for the region. Altogether, Levine said the 150 jobs consist of a couple of dozen management positions, 9 senior executives, and numerous positions related to information technology. Someone really hates Tennessee's TN-ready testing in schools. Really hates it. Tennessee Department of Education Commissioner Candace McQueen issued a statement to all state school superintendents Tuesday morning, notifying them that the TN-ready testing vendor, Questar, is investigating the cause of what is being called a deliberate attack against the state's testing procedures, saying that evidence continues to suggest strongly that the Questar data center is under attack from an external source. Tennessee's high school students are currently required to take TN-ready exams in English 1, 2, and 3, Algebra 1 and 2, and Geometry, Biology and Chemistry, and U.S. History. 3rd through 8th graders take TN-ready assessments in Language Arts, Math, Science, and Social Studies at the end of each school year. Washington County mayoral candidate Joe Grandy filed a complaint last week against Mark Ferguson's campaign, alleging it had been illegally coordinating with a political action committee. This week, Grandy's campaign got a complaint of its own for breaching boundaries at the polls. The complaint against Grandy was filed Saturday morning and signed by Keith Hawley, Sarah Dill, and Dwayne Cochran. It included cell phone photos taken by former Unicoi County Sheriff Kent Harris, showing Grandy talking to someone near a side door to the Washington County Courthouse during early voting on Friday. Grandy said Monday he was indeed inside the 100-foot voting boundary on that day. He said he was at the courthouse to consult with Mitch Meredith, the county's Director of Finance and Administration, and stopped to say hello to a friend on his way out. Grandy's complaint against Ferguson's campaign pertains to a robocall recorded by the aforementioned Kent Harris for the taxpayers fighting back in Washington County PAC. PAC Treasurer Alpha Bridger says the group gave its support to Ferguson without his consent or knowledge, and that the group has a constitutional right to support the candidate of their choosing. "We are proud," said Bridger, "to support the only true conservative running for Washington County, Mark Ferguson." She also quashed an alleged rumor, saying there are no Russians in our group. And finally, a few words about former First Lady Miss Barbara Bush, who passed away this past week at the age of 92. Mrs. Bush, who had sometimes been referred to as our nation's grandmother, led an exemplary life of public service while carrying the mantle of not only First Lady, but First Mother as well. She and her husband, former President George H.W. Bush, raised a family constantly in the spotlight and did so with grace, respect, and humility. Known as much for her dry wit and humor as for her willingness to help others in need, Barbara Bush was a fine woman, a wonderful mother and grandmother, and a fine example of what a First Lady should be, no matter your political leanings. She will be missed. And that's it for this week's Johnson City Press Week in Review. I'm Jared Bentley. Thanks for watching.